Hello folks, hope you're doing well. Yeah, something just came to mind that I thought would be actually an interesting point. Worth doing a video about. I've sort of touched on it before. Well, that may be the wrong way to say it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Women on the internet. Yeah. I've said it before how, women are... Well, not just women on the internet, but women in town and stuff like that, where they get clothing that's way too tight. As I say, if a man walked around with lycra clothing on that basically showed everything, that would be horrific. And society would be screaming, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But women do it all the time. All the time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, for me, if I see a lady on, it'll probably be YouTube because I don't watch any other internet ones at all. But if I see a lady on YouTube where she's not trying to show any of that, it's like, whoa, you're beautiful. Wow. Okay, that raises the level of the attractiveness of that person up so much. You get people that show cleavage and stuff like that, and straight away I'm like, no, I wouldn't want you. Not in any way, shape or form. I wouldn't want you. I don't care how good looking you are. I don't care about any of that sort of stuff. Because I wouldn't want you, because one thing I know in today's society, women do sort of say, well, look, you can't tell me how I should dress. No, you're right. I can't. Not really. And do I want to have arguments with my wife and saying to her, excuse me, will you not go outside as if you're advertising because you're a prostitute? I've said before, prostitutes need to advertise. If something's for sale, then they advertise. It's like, we see adverts on all the time in the shop. That's because that thing is available for sale. They want to sell it. You understand if a prostitute advertises her wares because that's what they're going to do. They're trying to get attention because they're trying to use this or these parts of their anatomy to sell sex. That's their job. But when you get women who claim to be good women, who wouldn't ever do such a thing as that, who are dressing in exactly the same way and advertising, I've said before, if it's not for sale, don't advertise it. And there's no way, shape or form, no way at all that I would want to be married to a woman who did that. Not in any way, shape or form. I mean, look, if I've not been paying her enough attention, if we're married and I'm not been paying her enough attention, and she's in the mood and she decides to come in to the room dressed like that to get me interested, great, that's cool. Yeah. You're trying to show me what I'm missing. Great. You're trying to show me you're in the mood. Great. Cool. That's appropriate for that. But if we've got guests, then that probably isn't appropriate, Oh, yeah. I remember years ago, I was at, I mentioned this before as well, I was at Green Street Baptist Church in Gillingham, Kent. And two very lovely young ladies were just all the time, relatively warm weather. They would sit there in short skirts with their legs wide open all the time. It's like, well, you're about 19, 20, early 20s, and you don't understand that maybe you shouldn't be showing that to everyone else. I'm not talking just from a Christian point of view, but from any point of view. Any woman at any time You know, women say they don't want men to be looking at them in that way. Then why dress in that way? Why dress so that people notice those parts of you, but then get so annoyed when people notice those parts of you? It's insane and it's stupidity that women even claim for a second that they're not dressing for attention. Yeah, you are. You are. On YouTube, as I say, you've got girls aplenty who do streaming and stuff like that, and who do streaming wearing incredibly low tops, you know, bras that push their boobs together and make it look as if they got massive chest and stuff like that. And you know, they wear whatever else that helps them to get more attention and to get more viewers. And it is prostitution. It's using your body to get money. Because if you are a streamer on, it's Twitch, is it? Something like that. But if you're a streamer on Twitch, I imagine for the amount of views you get a certain amount of money from that. Especially when you put those videos online and people go and watch those videos, the more people watch, the more money you get. So if you're trying to encourage people to watch by using your body, then that's earning money from the sexual parts of your body. Or from your sexuality. So therefore from sex. If you're earning money from sex, that's prostitution. Yeah, and how on earth people can't see this? As I say, I know that we live in that society like the church, where you can't say anything that's negative, you can't say anything that could offend, but for goodness sake, you know, yeah, it's insane. It is insane. Yeah. But say, I mean, you could go up to, if you had 10 random women, you could probably say at least 7 of those women have at some point prostituted themselves. 7 out of 10. It's insane how this is encouraged. How women's rights are basically encourage women to be prostitutes. It's insane. It's madness. And it's not just, as I say, it's not just that. But, you know, if a woman is in a nightclub and it's been going on for years, you know, and she gets a free drink from a bloke, she knows exactly why that man is buying her drinks. And a lot of women will have free drinks all night from men. They know that the drinks are for sex. They know that. Therefore, they're getting payment for sex. Whether they deliver, it doesn't matter. They're still getting payment for sex. You know? I mean, you know, in offices and stuff like that, when a woman dresses in a sexual way, you know, like a secretary or whatever, PA or whatever, does that to try and get in with the boss and get the boss's eye so that she get the promotion and stuff like that. Again, she's getting money from the fantasy that the boss has that if he gives her a promotion, then suddenly she's going to want to have sex with him. She knows exactly what she's doing. Even married women, you know, they're in a situation where, you know, they've been married for years and they want something. They want a new car or something, and they've been trying to pester their husband for that new car. He's kept on saying no, that he's trying to be sensible with the money, whatever. He's saying no for whatever reason. She says that she will do that thing sexually that he likes, that she hardly ever does. Yet knowing that when she's doing that, if she asks for a new car, he's going to say yes at that moment. What is that? In a marriage. What is that? The woman is therefore prostituting herself with her husband. If you receive any form of payment for sex, whether you actually have sex, it's prostitution. So, getting back to the point, do I find any of that attractive? No, God no. Yeah, a woman basically saying that it's okay if she wants to have any other man looking at her. It's okay if she does videos where she's, barely covered. Or covered in a way that really does accentuate everything, every part of her body. No, that's not attractive. It just isn't. To me, that's horrifying. I don't find that attractive in any way, shape or form. I would really, really, really rather be single than being in a situation married to a woman who thinks that that's a good idea. And as I say, I mean, the problem is, even in the church, with the church being so worldly, it's a sorry state of affairs, to say the least. It really is. It is an absolute sorry state of affairs. You can see why men just aren't bothering to get married and stuff like that. Yeah, I can understand it completely. Yeah. I mean, put it this way, there are women online who don't do that. And as I say, congrats to them. It's who they are, it's their character. But the whole idea that if men were doing that, if men were basically advertising their best features sexually all the time, which they have, don't get me wrong, I know they have, and I know that on certain sites they probably do that as much as women do. And again, should a woman think that a man who does that is a good option for her? Well, not if she's sensible, but it's the same the other way around. Most of the women who do this wouldn't go for a bloke who did this. They wouldn't want a bloke who did this because they would see that bloke would be more likely to have an affair. Yeah. Well, why wouldn't we see a woman who does this in the same way? Women have got to get to grips with that themselves and have got to start understanding that, why are they advertising something that is not for sale? Why are they happy to dress like a prostitute would dress? It's insane. But it is where we are, I suppose. Yeah, we have a weird fashion. I mean, fashion years ago, even going to a gym, shorts were basically what people used to wear. And, shorts weren't exactly a great covering, but they were a better covering than Lycra. Although Lycra covers more, the problem is it's so much tighter that it doesn't leave much to the imagination, if you would want to imagine. So it's like, that's a really bad option. And the option didn't come from God, that's a certainty. Not for clothing in that way, no. I think as an undergarment, Lycra, especially in winter, that'd probably be a good idea. Because it'll probably help you to stay warm. If you wore Lycra leggings underneath your jeans or whatever, that would probably be helpful in the winter to keep you warm. But, on their own, they should never be worn out or never be worn in the presence of anyone who is not the one you should be with. Really. So, well, it's only fair. I did the video talking about Amigo and talking about the fact you've got men showing their bits and pieces. Well, you've actually got women showing their bits and pieces all the time, just with a thin layer of clothing covering. It's the same thing. It's darkness. There's nothing light about that. There's nothing beautiful about that in any way, shape or form. Just as it's ugly on places like Omegle, if you go on to Omegle and a video comes up with a bloke doing that, it's not pleasant in any way, shape or form to see that. It's, oh my God, really? Exactly the same woman wearing incredibly tight lycra, showing every curve of her bottom, and that's just wrong. And showing cleavage to the point where, as I say, well, like years ago, you had dancing girls, I suppose, because in movies of years ago, it showed dancing girls. And dancing girls would show the cleavage, but that was all, again, that was to get people to buy tickets to come and see the dancing girls. Because it was a little fantasy that you can maybe get a dancing girl because she was a bit loose, because she was showing a bit of cleavage, which really wasn't the in thing. Whereas now it's the in thing. What on earth would a woman have to show nowadays to show she's loose? If she wanted to show she's loose, what on earth would she have to do to show that? Everything's already out. In those days, in like 100 or so years ago, women, cabaret dancing like that, showing a bit of cleavage, showing a bit of leg. For goodness sake, now. Well, now I suppose that's why they have strip clubs, because simply showing a bit of cleavage, showing a bit of leg is not enough. It's just ridiculous. Society hasn't exactly gone uphill. It's gone very much downhill. And I don't think that shows a good light on women having freedom. I don't think there's much freedom in that. Well, not if you feel pressured by society in any way, shape or form to do that, or conformity to do that. When you feel any pressure to do that, it's just wrong. Well, as I say, I mean, for most women, imagine when you were 9 or 10, did you imagine that you would be at the age of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, that sort of age, showing all of that to the world? Was that your dream to do that? It might have been your dream to make loads of money, doing videos and stuff like that, but advertising the parts of your body in that way? I doubt it. One thing I would add though is that the majority of these women, certainly ones on YouTube and stuff like that, they're very nice people if you look at their nature, if you look beyond that, they can be very nice people. The problem is that what they're showing most of is that they're trying to draw attention more to their sexual rather than to their character. And to me, that's a real shame, because if they do have a nice character, then focus attention on that, because a lot of these women are single. Well, they're going to be. If what people are seeing is that they're pushing out sexual, they're going to be single. When they have a lovely character, they need to focus attention on that. And I wish them well with that. So there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Have a fantastic rest of the week and a fantastic weekend. Respect yourself. Bye bye.